everyone, I'm Catherine from Knit the Stars and welcome to another video in my Knitting Unravelled series. Today we'll be learning about the purl stitch. This is a backwards knit stitch. If you look at a row of knit stitches, you'll see that the front side of the row is smooth, while the back side is bumpy. With a purl stitch, the front side will be bumpy and the back side will be smooth. It's important to learn how to purl because many basic stitch patterns include a combination of both knitting and purling. Begin by holding your needles as you would if you were going to knit. Instead of holding the working strand in back of your needles like you would if you were knitting, you're going to hold it in front to purl. Remember that when you knit, you insert your right needle from left to right and front to back. To purl, you're going to slide your needle the opposite way, from right to left and back to front through the first stitch on your left needle. Next, bring the working yarn around your right needle from right to left. Bring your left needle up and forwards over the tip of your right needle, keeping the loop you made on your right needle, and slide that first stitch off the end of your left needle, making sure not to pull the new stitch too tight. Your yarn should end up in front of the stitch after you purl it, instead of behind it like with knitting. Let's try another stitch. With the working yarn in front of your needles, slide your right needle into the first stitch on your left needle, from back to front and right to left. Wrap the yarn around the right needle from right to left. Bring your left needle forward and over the tip of your right needle and slide that first stitch off of your left needle. Continue purling to the end of the row. As you go, you'll start to see those bumps forming on the front of every purl stitch, the opposite of what you get with a knitted stitch. If you need to, feel free to slow down this video so you can purl along with me at your own speed. To the end of the row, swap your needles and start a new purl row with the working yarn still in front of the needles. You'll notice that if you purl every single row, the texture you get will be the same alternating bumps and smooth sides that you get when you knit. This is called garter stitch, and it's the most basic stitch pattern in knitting. Now that you know how to purl, you can also create a texture where one side of your work is completely smooth and the other side is completely bumpy by switching back and forth between knitting and purling each row. This pattern is called stocking stitch or stockinette stitch, and it's another fundamental pattern in knitting. When you work in stockinette stitch, the bumpy purl side is called the wrong side of the work, and the smooth knit side is called the right side of the work. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you'll follow along with the rest of my Knitting Unravelled series.